About to take her first gulp of food, Eileen's fork halts midair before saying something. And what that something is will be revealed right now because we are heading back into first snow. Hello you and welcome to Some Kind of Fox content and welcome to this third episode of this visual novel that we're doing here for the holidays. Again, I will say, in case you missed the episode yesterday, what I'm going to be doing, instead of doing 1 or 2 episodes of this, which would be quite long, I'm going to spread it out all over the week here. So you'll get 1 episode per day of this, which means that you'll get 2 episodes each day until the 24th. But without further ado, let's find out what this woman here is about to say and say ourselves hello you and welcome to First Snow. Cold any better? Yeah, clearing up now. Good to hear. With that, she starts on her pasta and salad. Oh, that sounds lovely. As I take my phone to browse some more and Eileen calmly eats the average at best cafeteria food, it feels as though there's no need to chat just to fill the air. That silence between us is becoming more comfortable. That is, before I get a message. Can't make dinner, work sucks. Flicking away the browser app, I take a quick look. You were getting groceries yesterday, right? Anything in the fridge? I like our little profile picture here. Seconds tick by as I wait for a response, a sense of concern starting to take over. Will I die of hunger? Probably not. Rose? Rose! Sorry. Rose! Work needs me. See you later. All I can do is sigh and slump down in my seat as I lay my phone on the table. Eileen looks at me in puzzlement, her fork hovering near her mouth. Huh? Bad news. Roommate forgot to do groceries. We're out of food. Can't you just grab a burger on the way home? That would be the plan. If I wasn't nearly through my allowance, I just look away and groan. Not up to outright saying that I'm broke. It's that bad, huh? At first glance, she shrugs off as she goes back to eating, but she seems to actually be in thought after watching her a bit. Eventually, after finishing her food, she speaks up. I guess I was cooking some extra anyway. Oh, you can come over for dinner if you want. It's within walking distance. Oh. Gonna have a lovely dinner with Eileen here. The suggestion's enough to make me bolt upright in an instant. What? To your place? Yeah, should be fine, right? You're okay with stir fry? I want some stir fry.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this. Sure, whatever. Just don't make it weird. Well, probably shouldn't go then. Considering the discussion over, Eileen goes back to finishing off her food without much concern for what she just said. Maybe she does have a good side. Stopping before the large black door, I repeat the address Eileen gave me to reassure myself I've come to the right place. Eileen's definition of walkable is apparently rather different than mine, still catching my breath from the hike. I thought I was going to be fine, but my nerves are getting the better of me now that I'm here. I'm going into a near stranger's home, after all, and it'll be just the 2 of us. In school, we just happen to be around each other, but this is entirely different. Glancing down the hall to make sure nobody's watching me awkwardly loiter around, I take a moment to appreciate how nice her apartment building is. This is a nice area and everything inside is immaculate. Even the hallway carries a slight scent of cleaning products. Out of excuses to stall any longer, I take a breath and gingerly press the doorbell, its muffled chime ringing out from behind the door. I run my hands through my hair one more time to make sure I look presentable as footsteps come to the door. The plain wooden door swings open and answered by... And then it's Wallace or something. Ah, it is Wallace! Not Eileen!
Hey.
Oh. Oh, evening. Before I can ask if I got the right apartment, he turns around. Allison's here. Wallace jerks his head around for me to follow. I obediently do so, still too confused. That's the opposite, to get a word out. Eileen didn't mention he would be here. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I should be relieved. It's not just the two of us. That is a nice apartment. Barely noticing the thud of the door closing behind me, I take a quick glance around her apartment as I place my coat on the counter. The first striking thing is how clean it is, with everything put neatly in its place. Then again, aside from a few paintings on the wall that are possibly her own, there's not much clutter around to clean up. The television, quite a decent size for students, sits on a cable news channel. Why would it be sitting there? Riveting as the economic situation report is, it's barely audible over the clacking rice cooker coming from the kitchen. As Wallace and I stride in, Eileen comes to her feet. After having been on the couch, she lazily covers a deep yawn with her hand as she does.
Hi?
Hi? So, you managed to find the place. Welcome to my home, I guess. I'd introduce you to this guy as well, but it seems you two already know each other. Wallace and I exchange a brief glance. Just had coffee together once. While I did find his size intimidating at first, he seems a bit of a gentle giant figure now that I'm around him more. Looks like this isn't going to be dinner for just me and Eileen then. Taking one last glance about the inside of her place is as nice as the outside. From the meticulous cleanliness to the trendy furniture, her home looks more suited to a design magazine than a student's living area. Your apartment's really nice. Thanks. I'd like to try and keep things organized.
Yeah.
Especially when visitors are over.
Eileen glares daggers at Wallace, but he doesn't pay any heed. The two seems to have a good handle on each other. Moving on. Wallace just watch TV or something while we get dinner sorted.
Can do.
Thanks again for letting me have dinner with you. Don't get too comfortable. I'm going to make you work for your food. Eileen motions for me to come over with her, but the gesture was unnecessary given her commanding tone. Wallace gives a dreary glance as he follows his orders, and I quickly do the same. I end up standing before a well-used wooden cutting board, taking the large knife Eileen offers before sizing up the variety of vegetable awaiting its blade. I don't think she notices my hesitation as she opens the rice cooker and gives the contents a stir. The two of us waste little time in getting to work, the sound of food being prepared filling the room. Unfortunately, it isn't long before I've earned Eileen's ire.
No.
Stop it, you're not even cutting anything. My heart practically leaps out of my chest as I immediately freeze, hands retreating from the cutting board. Did I hand you a hatchet? No. Then why are you using that as one? It looks like you're trying to lop off some fingers. In response to my puzzled look, she takes the knife off me and starts demonstrating the correct technique herself. Well, if you're so good, then why didn't you do it? Thought you'd be more help than him in fixing this up. Look, curl your hand in next to where you want to cut like this. Now use the knife like a lever instead of wildly hacking away. We're making nice slow slices, not some slasher B-movie scene here.
Okay.
Right, I think I have it. Eileen hands the knife back, and after a breath to steady myself, I have another try. I lose 3 fingers. Here's my breast, apparently. Why was... Okay. She soon starts frowning as I slice away, but at least she's not yelling at me again. I'm guessing you don't cook for yourself. Her eyes rest on the collection of lopsided shapes sitting before me. I'm lucky if I don't mess up instant noodles. Oh, that's good.
Huh?
I thought those were impossible to get wrong. I'm genuinely impressed. Oh, I impressed Eileen. You do all your own cooking? Not like I have anyone else to cook for me. Healthier than living off pizza and burgers too. Yeah, but more boring. More work, less flavor? Yeah, sure, count me in. What about Wallace? Aren't you roommates? No, he just loafs around here sometimes. I try to get him to help, but he's no better than you are. I'm always feeding him and letting him crash on my couch. He even bugs me for free pictures for his writing. She sets down her knife in genuine, if depressing thought. Maybe we should just become roommates. Well, Eileen, this is so sudden. I don't know what to say. I think I'm starting to get a hand... Oh, she was talking about Wallace. Dang it. I think I'm starting to get a handle on their relationship now. As strange a pair as they might seem, the stern and uncompromising Eileen and gentle giant Wallace seems like they're a compatible couple. I'm surprised you're not. I thought you might be together. Nope, just friends. So much for that. She waves away the idea so easily that it must have come up before. In fact, back at the cafe, Wallace seemed quick to clarify that too. Wallace's voice pipes up from behind us.
When the fuck is dinner ready? God, I'm hungry.
You know, it's not often Eileen invites someone else over for dinner.
Yes, I feel very special.
I don't invite anyone over for dinner. You just show up most of the time. Including now, actually. I've had to put up with him like this since high school. I guess no one else would.
Objection! I'm the one who puts up with you.
I'm the one currently holding a knife.
Objection withdrawn.
With that, he goes back to quietly watching the television. I'm starting to get how Eileen deals with others in general now. She simply has no filter when it comes to stating what she believes to be true. That can be a problem just as much as shyness, though. Thinking back to when we met, the only reason I didn't write the episode with her off is Caprice and Wallace nudging me afterwards. But here she is, looking after her friend and providing me with a meal. It took a while, but I'm glad I met her in the end. Perhaps that's why it's a little worrisome that she lives alone like this. You normally do all this without any help? Anyone to help? You don't need to say that like it's a bad thing. There's all sorts in the world. Some are better with people than others. Living alone suits me and I can afford it. You know Caprice though, don't you? So you're not completely alone besides Wallace. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Tell me, how did you and Caprice meet? We were sitting at the same table for a biology lecture and she started passing me notes during class out of the blue. Once we started talking afterwards, she didn't really stop. That's the way it goes with her. Once you get caught in her orbit, she doesn't let you go. Caprice isn't that bad. She's a sweet person, just high energy. She gives a non-committal grunt, again with the grunts here, before getting on with her cooking. I do wish she'd give her a chance. A chance, not a change. Caprice does only mean the best for her. God, I just woke up, so I'm not reading good today. Moving away from that, could you grab the plates and glasses? These shouldn't take long to fry.
Would be a place.
No.
Water is healthier.
Allison,
Allison, please save me from this woman.
All I can do is give a weak smile, much as I'd like to give him what he asked for. Following Eileen's orders would probably be for the best. With all of us well and truly full, we sit around the table and savor the meal we've had. It was the best food I've had in a while, since it was neither takeout nor cooked by Rose. Having sent a text message to her for a pickup, all that's left is to run down the clock as the evening wears on. Looking around the apartment, I point to one of the paintings on the wall. Did you paint all these? Yeah. Really need to find something else to put up there, though.
Huh?
But why? They're really good. I appreciate the thought. All of them have dumb little mistakes. Though. Just needed something to make the wall less bare when I moved in and never got around to replacing them. You like painting people in particular, don't you? Just into portraits and figures. Modern arts are well and good, but I started with figure drawing and ended up attached to it. Bodies are pretty fascinating when you think about them. Really think about them, that is. I've spent days just sitting there sketching, trying to work out how the muscles fit together, how lighting interact with skin and all that. The way she rattles off her thoughts with such feeling gives away how much she cares about the subject. I can't say I take it quite as seriously as she does, but I can see where she's coming from.
Interested in this stuff, Allison?
Me? I just drew a little in high school, passing the time, that kind of thing.
Nothing wrong with that. I sketch on my tablet and Eileen gives me pointers sometimes.
Maybe I should throw you to the wolves and tell Caprice you like doing arts as well.
You wouldn't.
I'm thinking about it. I can't help but giggle a bit at the two of them. Yet even as they do, there's a small pang of envy there. I can empathize with Eileen keeping her group of friends small, but I do wish I were closer to her, in more ways than one. She's who I wish I could be. The familiar sound of a motorbike's horn can be faintly heard from outside, bringing an end to both my thoughts and this little outing. That for you. Giving a nod, I get up from my chair and collect my coat from Eileen's helpful hand, quickly throwing it over myself.
Thank you.
Thanks for tonight. It was nice. Not wanting to keep Rose waiting, I wave Wallace goodbye as I take my leave, with Eileen coming along to see me out at the door. Got everything with you? Don't leave your stuff around my apartment. I quickly pat around my pockets to make sure, phone, purse, keys, they all seem to be there. All good.
I'll see you then. If you want to come around again, feel free.
If I'm not too much trouble, that'd be nice.
I do a poor job of hiding my happiness at the offer, my reply just a little too quick to sound natural.
Believe me, you're no trouble. It honestly does me good to see you a bit more upbeat.
I tilt my head a little at the odd idea.
You just seemed kind of skittish before, but now you're all sunshine and rainbows. It suits you.
Sorry. I'm a bit shy.
Not to mention a bit homesick too. Being able to talk with friends outside of school was a nice change, not to mention having a homemade meal. Even if I didn't help that much, it did take my mind off things. Eventually, as my mind slowly manages to get back into gear, I muster the words to say what I want to tell her as I get past being so flustered.
If you don't mind me being around for dinner, maybe being together in a club wouldn't be so bad.
Caprice got in my head. She hesitates for a few good moments, making me doubt myself as I offer the suggestion as carefully as possible. She knows I like her as a person, so hopefully she can look past her previous experiences. Just as I begin to think I have overstepped the mark, she gives an absolute, almost comically long sigh. The horn sounds again in the distance as silence reigns, but my feet stay plastered as she comes to an answer.
Fine. tell Capri she can have her dumb club.
Thank you.
Just don't make me regret it.
With an enthusiastic nod and a wave, I start off down the hallway once more, Eileen disappearing into her apartment as I look back. Even as I walk down the hallway, my steps somehow feel lighter than they did as I entered. Being around others usually makes me exhausted, but right now I feel more comfortable than ever.
Wallace!
It's nice to see you again. How's it going?
No.
I'm not joining this club thing, if that's what you're thinking.
Come on!
But...
Word on the street was that pizza was involved.
Besides, I don't think I can deal with the both of you without some backup. I'm not that much trouble, am I? Remind me who persuaded me into agreeing to this again. She's got a point. You're the last person who should be agreeing with her. Smiling and sitting back in the old wooden chair, I take a look around the noisy room filled to the brim with people. Everyone inside must be thankful for the heat being turned up, the weather outside having been freezing before we entered. There's a certain charm to the restaurant given its exposed aging brick walls and wooden furniture, however hard it may be. It takes a bit of speaking up for us to hear each other over the busily chatting couples all around this restaurant here and groups around us. But like Dad said, the more people at a restaurant, the better the food will be. Well, good point. I notice Eileen eyeing Wallace's beer in a unsubtle manner, the large glass perspiring away like a commercial. I'd taken his apparent age as just his beard making him look older, but I guess he really does have a few years on us. Man, I miss beer. It'll go so well with this.
Yeah, I was thinking you were far too uptight to do something like underage drinking. Jesus, who am I together with here?
Remember the trip to Europe me and my family took last year? You think I just drank soda over there?
Well?
Seriously?
I was in Munich, Wallace. I mean, really. I had sausage and beer. Caprica and I can only smile at her little lecture. Don't be sad, Eileen. It's only a couple more years, then you can drink all you want. The look of pure and unrelenting disdain Eileen gives her at being reminded of the weight goes gleefully ignored, which is probably for the best. Our chatter... Oh, God, that looks good. Oh, I want pizza. Our chatter is interrupted by the arrival of a waiter, a weedy young man clad in a plain red and black uniform. It's impressive how well he maneuvers all our pizzas and sides onto the table. Where's the sides? Is that the salt and the pepper? All our mouths watering as they steam away. With a curt "please enjoy," he leaves us to our feast. Damn, they're fast here.
Exactly.
Best pizza place in the city. How many have you actually tried? Doesn't matter since I've already tried this place. She says, busily shoving a slice of pizza into her mouth. Eileen starts on hers, but mine catches the eye of Wallace.
Huh?
Vegetarian? You're not a leaf eater, are you?
He says this with genuine concern in his voice. Why the fuck does that matter? I just like the taste. The answer satisfies him as he goes to work on his own. The fact is, it's a meat lover's pizza is less than surprising. Think you can take the wallet hit for tonight?
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. Ha. It's a little sad how obviously she's trying to convince herself of the fact. The only reason I'm not having a quick check myself is because I budgeted the trip days in advance, and even Wallace looks like he's doubting himself a little.
Such is life of a struggling college student.
Sure is. I really need to get a job.
You don't have one either?
I'm planning to get one, if that counts for something. And when will you?
Huh?
Soon.
Soon. Wrong voice. Eileen just grimaced as she got me. How's working at the store, Wallace?
Not exactly riveting, but it's a living.
As I turn to Eileen, she just shrugs as she pulls out another slice. No job and no excuse like studying. Guess I'm a slacker like Caprice. Giving her apartment, it's a surprise that she could afford to live in that area and pay her tuition at the same time. I have to admit I am envious of how she seems to have her life together. I've never met someone so independent yet doing such a good job at it. Ugh. Wallace momentarily bringing his phone up to check the time spurs Caprice into action. Her twisting about in her seat and fussing around with her coat draped over the back takes everyone's attention.
Caprice.
She finally rights herself after a few moments, her own phone proudly in hand. Let's exchange phone numbers. As a club, we have to stay in contact. I quickly turn to grab my phone while Caprice tries to talk a very reluctant Wallace into going along with her plan. His dreary looks makes me feel a little sorry for him, especially as he cracks and gives up. At least she and I are already sorted. It wasn't long after we met that Caprice asked to exchange contact details with me. I take my phone in hand and look to Eileen instead, who looks up from eating with little interest. Don't want to? She just shrugs. I feel myself deflate a little from the excitement of earlier, having overestimated how close we'd managed to become. I don't really use it much. Reading the room as she glances about, she reluctantly pulls out an ancient-looking flip phone. I can't help but stare in stunned silence at such a relic. Hey, 1999 called. It's not that weird, is it? I just never had a use for a fancy one. Well, good point. It's definitely weird. I was gonna try to get everyone on this group messaging app too. What's wrong with calling? You know, that thing phones were made for? Thoughts I had of possibly messaging Eileen start to vanish. I can't imagine her actually wanting to text anyone with that thing. And even the idea of calling somebody fills me with anxiety. Yeah, me too. As for Eileen, I think I might have inadvertently, I can't say that, I'm too flu still, disappointed her by not tempering Caprice's reaction. With a quiet falling over the table, we end up concentrating on our cooling pizza rather than our phones. So I was right? Best pizza place. At least Caprice's endless enthusiasm and bright nature comes in useful sometimes. The mood instantly lifting. I mean, you were right. Wallace gives a thumbs up as he tries to grab some cheese coming off the slice he's working on. They don't skimp on the toppings, do they? Alright, listen up everybody. My first executive decision as club president coming here is now a regular event.
No.
Don't try your luck. You've got my art room and a warm body for the numbers you needed. That's it.
Eileen.
So cold. I'll come here with you, don't worry. I don't have any money though. Can you pay every time? See, Allison's a true friend. She slips her arm around mine and pulls us together tightly. Not knowing how I should react, I end up nervously smiling while feeling myself flushing from the contact. I guess I'm just happy to hear her call me a friend. At least you've got Caprice with you as company during the day, for better or worse. Aw, come on Eileen, you're not jealous, are you? You and I can hang out at the club all the time now too. Are you trying to make me reconsider it? Caprice satisfies herself with pouting as she takes a big bite from her pizza. Eileen might have agreed to the club, but I do wonder if the two will ever really get along. It's probably for the best that I'll be around to meditate. Mediate, not meditate. Well, fuck it, let's do that too. I'm glad things turned out this way in the end. Something about Eileen feels different from my high school friends, or Caprice. Every time we become a little closer, feels like a small victory. As Caprice grins at me, I realize that I'm smiling widely. I guess things really did turn out well.
Hey, Eileen?
Yes?
Yes.
How do you say cheers in Germany?
You say... I should know that. My mind keeps reverting to Gesundheit, but that's not it.
Usually Prost.
Okay, that's not... I wouldn't have guessed that. She looks suspicious until Caprice raises her glass of lemonade. The other side of the table groans loudly, but I've already begun to lift my glass in preparation, now left awkwardly dangling in midair.
We're not doing this.
Come on, this is a celebration, right?
Wallace, help me out here.
Wallace pauses, a piece of pizza hovering before his mouth. His dreary stare down makes it clear that he's here for pizza alone and not having a bar of this. A disappointed Eileen lets it drop, the neutral party going back to his meal.
You're still here celebrating, though. See? Allison's all in for it.
Well, that's one way to drag me into this. All I can do is awkwardly smile in apology as the others grimace. While they might hesitate to follow our diminutive new leader, Wallace and Eileen begrudgingly lift their glasses in solidarity with me. Even if her enthusiasm might not be matched, there is some sense of camaraderie between us all. As I raise my glass, I realize that a familiar feeling is no longer weighing me down. For the first time in a long while, I don't feel the unease of loneliness. In the end, maybe that's enough for me to toast this new club and the friends in it.
To our new art club. Prost!
Prost! Begin Act 2, Falling Snow. Well, this episode is a little shorter than it should be, but this might actually be a good place to end this episode. I'll make tomorrow's episode a bit longer. It'll probably be like 1.5 hours, just so I don't have to do like a long episode, like a really long episode for the last one. But I just feel like this is a nice cutting point. We made some friends, we had dinner with Eileen and Wallace, and we started the club. What will happen in the next episode? We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until that next time, bye!